Hello, my name is Maximus Anthony, and today I'm going to be doing my proposed ending to Game of Thrones. And obviously, as you can tell by the thumbnail of this video, it involves Daenerys not sitting on the Iron Throne, which is unfortunately going to cause a lot of stirring in the comment section down below, because many people believe that Daenerys is unkillable. Many people believe that her, Jon Snow, and Tyrion are all unkillable characters, but in my opinion, Daenerys, if any of those three characters are going to die, it's going to be Daenerys. Daenerys, as of late, has been showing Mad Queen-like tendencies that were very similar to the madness that ran through her older brother Viserys and her father, Aerys II Targaryen, better known as the Mad King. So, obviously, that would lead many to believe that I believe Jon Snow is going to sit on the Iron Throne, because he would be next in line. He's half Targaryen. But in my opinion, that's not going to happen either. In my opinion, neither Daenerys or Jon Snow are going to sit on the Iron Throne. In fact, I don't believe that any full or half Targaryens are going to sit on the Iron Throne come the end of the series. The person who I think is going to sit on the Iron Throne is Gendry Baratheon. Now, before you get mad at me, let me explain. In the latest episode of Eastwatch, a large group ventured beyond the wall to fight the army of the White Walkers. It consisted of Jon Snow, Gendry, Beric Dondarrion, Thoros of Myr, the Hound, Jorah Mormont, and Tormund Giantsbane. So, who do I think is going to die? I believe that Thoros of Myr, Beric Dondarrion, and Tormund Giantsbane are all goners. In my opinion, none of them really have a place with the series anymore, except for Tormund Giantsbane, okay? I know a lot of people want to see him get together with Brienne of Tarth, but in my opinion, I would rather see Brienne get together with Jaime come the end of the series. That's just my opinion. So, come the end of the series, I believe that Brienne will be with Jaime, which means Tormund Giantsbane is going to be out of the picture. At this point, Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr have also served their purpose, because it's become painfully apparent that Lady Stoneheart is not going to appear in the show. Sorry, book fans. So, that means that Beric Dondarrion and Thoros of Myr both serve their purpose, and they should die beyond the wall. I know it makes me sound cruel, but they should. And along with them, Tormund Giantsbane. Which means that Jon Snow and Gendry, as well as the Hound and Jorah Mormont, are all going to return unharmed. So, what I believe is going to happen is that Daenerys is going to ride one of her dragons to aid them in the battle against the White Walkers. I know this is a common theory, but I believe that one of those dragons is going to die in the battle beyond the wall, and is going to be revived at the end of the season as an ice dragon, who is going to knock down the wall. Now, I know a lot of people also speculate that they're going to travel around the wall, because in the intro segment, the Bay of Seals is now frozen. But in my opinion, that's just not crafty enough. That's not cool enough. And I know George R.R. Martin wouldn't want it to be that simple, so I speculate that the Ice Dragon is going to knock down the wall. So, in my opinion, Daenerys is not going to survive the final battle against Cersei. I believe that she's going to make some kind of reckless decision alongside Jorah Mormont against Tyrion's, wishes. I believe that Tyrion's going to advise her against doing this reckless action. I don't know what the reckless action is, but at the moment, my opinion would be on rescuing the Unsullied from Casterly Rock. Now, as we saw in the Field of Fire, the Lannisters obviously have no chance against dragons, which leaves this up to speculation about how Daenerys will die. But I do believe that Daenerys will die alongside Jorah Mormont, and I believe that all the people who've wanted to see Jorah and Daenerys get together will finally get it. I believe that they'll kiss right before they die. That's what I believe will happen. Of course, if the Lannisters are smart, then they would take them hostage, but because Cersei's going a bit insane lately, I don't believe that she would keep them alive. She would see them as too much of a threat to keep alive and would immediately probably kill both of them. So, this leaves Daenerys out of the picture. So who else could take over? Well, I know who you guys are going to say, Jon Snow, obviously. So they were going to invade King's Landing, and I believe that Jon Snow is going to win the battle. I believe that what's going to happen is the Mountain is going to be killed by the Hound, obviously. And I believe that Jaime is finally going to turn her back on Cersei and kill her by stabbing her in her stomach. I believe that that's what's going to happen. It will be a big blow, because she recently revealed in the latest episode that she's pregnant, so that would be a big blow. and it would also mean that her child was never born, thus fulfilling the prophecy that was discussed at the beginning of Season 5 that she would have 3 children, not 4, meaning that Cersei is likely never going to give birth to this 4th child, and the best way to prove that this is true would be to have Jaime kill her and the baby at the same time. So, obviously, that would just be a big blow, and I think that that's how Cersei is going to end. And I believe that after that, Jon Snow will have the biggest claim to the throne due to being half Targaryen, which I believe is going to be revealed to him by Bran Stark, his brother. And I believe that Tyrion is also half Lannister. He is half Lannister, but I also believe that he's half Targaryen. I'm an avid supporter of the fact that both of them are Targaryen. However, I don't believe that Jon Snow is going to take the Iron Throne. No, I believe that that will go to Gendry. Why do I think it'll go to Gendry? Well, Gendry has been through a fair bit in his time in the series as well, and after this latest battle that he's getting himself into, I believe that Jon Snow is going to realize that Gendry is a true warrior and a true and confident leader. And I believe that he'll realize that Gendry deserves to be on the Iron Throne now Daenerys is dead. In fact, it's kind of apparent that Jon Snow doesn't even think that Daenerys should be on the Iron Throne. He thinks that Cersei shouldn't be on it, but I'm starting to think that maybe Daenerys shouldn't be on the Iron Throne because she's kind of making reckless decisions now that she's in Westeros. So, yeah. So, in the end, I believe that Gendry is going to take the Iron Throne. I believe that Jon Snow is going to give it to him because he's a Baratheon, and the throne should have been his as soon as his father died, because none of Robb's children were actually his children. So, yeah, so that means that Gendry should have been next in line to the throne this entire time. So Jon Snow is obviously going to give the throne to Gendry, and after he gives the throne to Gendry, he's going to go back to the North. Gendry will probably name him King of the North or Warden of the North, just like his father Eddard Stark was, and a relationship will go between Jon Snow and Gendry, very similar to the likes of Eddard and Robert at the beginning of the show, where they were war heroes together, they conquered Westeros together, and they will just separate from each other, and they'll come back together eventually and swap stories like they did with their fathers. So that's how I believe it's going to happen. Let me know if you believe this is, a bad theory. I know that this theory is pretty strange. I know that a lot of people don't immediately think Gendry should sit on the Iron Throne, but in my opinion, that's the way it should end. I don't think that Jon Snow or Daenerys should sit on the throne, and I think that Tyrion is better served as a hand than he ever would be a king. So I believe that that would make Gendry the most suitable ruler. So let me know your guys' opinions on what you think will be the ending of the show and other theories, because I always love reading Game of Thrones theories. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. And also as a reminder, please check out my Wattpad account and help my latest new book series called The Hunters of Ersha grow. I originally named it The Killian Chronicles, but I changed it to The Hunters of Ersha recently. Please look me up on Wattpad.com under the name Maximus Anthony and read all my stories, fanfiction and created by me, and let me know what you guys think of this video. Okay, bye!